Hello, everyone, and thank you again for joining us at the Africa Wealth Conference 2022. I am here with a great lady, Ms. Catherine Mputhia. She is a legal professional, and today she is going to spend time to talk to all of us who are in family business, because that is one way to create family wealth. She will be talking to us around how to structure your family business to create generational wealth. Again, this conference is all about creating wealth, managing wealth sustainably, and how you structure it is basically the foundation of ensuring that generational wealth is created. So I want to go ahead and welcome Catherine Mputhia. Go ahead and just talk to us and let us know what is it that we can do better when we talk about structuring our family business. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Anne. Good afternoon, and good afternoon, everybody. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me to speak. It really is an honor, and I hope you can all see me and hear me well. My name is Catherine Mputhia. I'm an advocate practicing in Nairobi, and one of my areas of interest is in family businesses, and I think I'll get straight to it. And maybe if you could confirm you can hear me and see me before I proceed.
Yes, Catherine, we can see you. We can hear you perfectly. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, thank you. So all set. Okay. So the first thing is when we talk about family business, what do we mean? And according to the definition provided by the AWC Family Business Handbook, a family business is it is a business that is owned primarily by members of the same family. So it could be in many ways. It could be they fully own it, or they co-own it with another set of non-family members. So basically, when we are talking of family business, it could be husband and wife, it could be siblings, it could be cousins, as long as a majority or a large percentage of the shareholding is owned by members of the same family. So many of our Kenyan businesses, and indeed African businesses, are owned in this model of family businesses. And what makes family businesses unique from other forms of business is the nature, the family, or what they call the familial relationship that governs this kind of business. In non-family businesses, the family relationship is not really an issue as it is in family businesses. So it's something that cannot be ignored. If you start a business with your spouse, you cannot really ignore the nature of the family relationship in your business. So this is what distinguishes family-owned businesses from other businesses. And from research and studies done, how you manage that family relationship determines the success or failure of your business. According to research done by Credit Suisse, since 2006, family-owned enterprises have been the best performers for quite a period of time. So this shows that family businesses have the capacity to outperform non-family businesses because of, again, how you harness the family relationships. If you harness it well, you'll do well. If you mismanage it, it won't reflect well in the performance. So I was asked to look at how to structure family businesses, and also why do family-owned enterprises fail? And you know the cases, especially here in Kenya. I don't need to mention them, but it's in public knowledge that a lot of family-owned enterprises do not do well and they fail. And some of the challenges that these family-owned enterprises have is, first of all, rivalry between the family members. So when you have that rivalry, it will spill over to the business. And you will not, the business will not be able to make decisions. There'll be no consensus and so on. Infighting within the family can spill over into the business. Coupled with that is favorism, where especially this is where a business was started by parents and then they hand it over the generations, to their children and grandchildren and so on. Favorism can cause a challenge in the family business because, of course, it's a root of rivalry. But other than those obvious aspects of failure, there are three aspects that are normally ignored in family businesses. One is lack of succession planning. And with succession planning, a lot of family businesses ignore this as an important and key factor in success of the family business for many generations. So what happens is the founders probably just run the business and don't think about succession planning. They don't think about training or mentoring the next generation to take over the business. And so in many unfortunate events, you find the founder probably dies and the next generation are not prepared to handle the transition. And then there's also lack of corporate governance structures, lack of proper structures in the family-owned enterprise. In one of the sad cases in Kenya, one of the children of the founder took over the business and did not put in structures. He would go and withdraw money as he deemed fit, and to the point of taking millions of shillings. And of course, the company ran down in a very short time after the founders were deceased. So lack of structures. Then there's lack of professional management. Many times you find some of these businesses require professional expertise. So you find if the family does not have that pool of expertise, the business can fail if the structure allowing for professional management is not set in. So having looked at the causes of failure in the family business, then what is the resolution? And with all humility, I'd want to say that there's no standard solution. There's no solution that can be said that this is how it's done, because family businesses vary in as much as families vary. So things like values and vision and things like that, as the same way families are different, is the same way family businesses are different. So according to experts and according to research, the most important thing or the biggest secret in making sure that the family business runs for generations and for hundreds of years, the secret is in managing the relationship well. And experts have advised for a structure that they call the family governance structure. So the family governance structure is a totally separate entity from the business governance structure. So in the family governance structure, the aim is to set up a structure to dictate how will the business be run. So some of the tools that are proposed is to set up institutions within the family. They are not really formal institutions, they are informal. I'll give a simple example of just having a family meeting every month or every 3 months to discuss issues of the family business and to discuss the relationship amongst the family members. It may seem like a very simple tool, but it's very powerful. We used it recently in a certain family business where there was a lot of sort of discord. And these family meetings helped to bring consensus. Then the second tool that is advised is a family advisory board. This is a group of family members to whom are delegated the task of being the go-between between the family and the business. So basically you'd have the family here, then you'd have the advisory board. The advisory board are picked from the family members. And this advisory board becomes a link between the family and the business. And this is very critical where the family business also has non-family members. So the role of the family advisory board will be to advise the business on issues like the vision of the business and so on. So a family constitution is also a very important document. And often it sets out the vision of the founder, the values of the family. It sets out things like decision-making, how are decisions made. It sets out things like the roles and responsibilities. And finally, and very importantly, it sets out the method of dispute resolution. What is really recommended is mediation for family-owned enterprises. And this may look simple, but it's very powerful because a lot of family-owned businesses are crippled by court cases where you find siblings taking each other to court, siblings getting orders like injunctions to stop all the business operations of the enterprise. So dispute resolution is very, very important, and it can be predetermined when the founders are still there. Now, having spoken about family governance and governing the relationship in the family, then the business governance is equally important. So the enterprise itself should have proper governance structures and how to manage the relationship amongst the shareholders. You can use a lot of legal tools like the shareholders agreement. And this is a contract between shareholders on how they will govern this enterprise and how their relationship will be with each other. One of the causes of contention is sale of shares, transfer of shares. So you have a family owning a business. Now, when someone wants to exit the family-owned enterprise, according to the law, or generally, they will transfer their share to a third party. But in the case of a family-owned business, then special clauses like on transfer of shares, limiting the transfer of shares to family members, such clauses are very important. Other clauses are transmission of shares. What happens if a family member dies? What happens to their share? So that you don't have their share, dispute of a company ownership going to court. And again, dispute resolution is very important. I have highly summarized this small presentation to 15 minutes, but it is quite detailed. What I've said is just a very highly summarized response. But I would advise any family-owned business to please speak to a lawyer and experts like Africa Wealth, who will help you to, to see ahead. They say prevention is better than cure. So a lot of these disputes and a lot of these court battles, a lot of these things that cripple family-owned businesses can be managed at this stage when the founders are still there. So, Anne, that is all. I hope I've kept it.
Yes, you have, Catherine. Thank you very much. I know it was short. There's so much to unpack when we're talking about structuring family business. This is just the beginning. But what I'd like to tell the attendees is that, look, we are sharing this information. It's probably a bit high level, But once you know, you now want to sit down, because every family business is different. Every family relationship is different. So you really want to sit down with a legal advisor like Catherine, a wealth advisor like myself, tax advisors, different people who know, who are experts in their field, to make sure that they're supporting you and your family business, to be able to make sure that you are structuring it in the right way for generations to come. So again, Catherine, thank you very much for your insight. And anyone who's interested in reaching out to her, then you can let us know at the Regal Africa group. We'll be able to share with you her contact, so that now you can sit down with her and she can be able to offer you the advice that you need. So again, thank you, Catherine, and we appreciate the information you shared today.